Welcome back to the channel. Today I want you to lean in and hear this truth. Suffering and trials are not meaningless accidents. They are not random interruptions to your life. They are not evidence that God has forgotten you. No. Scripture tells us they are the very tools by which God refines and strengthens our faith. Think of it this way. Faith is not proven when life is easy. Faith is proven when life is hard. And the Apostle Peter puts it plainly. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. 1 Peter 1 verse 7. Let that sink in. Your faith is more precious than gold. Gold may shine in a furnace, but even gold eventually fades. Faith, when tested, produces something that lasts for eternity. Now, let me take you to Isaiah 48 verse 10, where God himself says, "Behold, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have tried you in the furnace of affliction." Now, notice what he doesn't say. He doesn't say, "I destroyed you in the furnace." He doesn't say, "I abandoned you in the furnace." He says, "I refined you." That means the fire was never for your ruin. It was always for your transformation. Affliction is the classroom where God teaches us endurance. It is the place where pride burns away, where self-reliance melts down, and where a deeper trust in God is formed. But here's the part that challenges us. Endurance is the mark of true faith. To endure is not simply to survive. To endure is to keep trusting God when everything around you says you shouldn't. Isaiah 50 verse 10 asks the question, "Who among you fears the Lord and obeys the voice of his servant? Let him who walks in darkness and has no light trust in the name of the Lord and rely on his God." Did you hear that? Sometimes the walk of faith feels like walking in darkness, no light, no clarity, no visible reason to keep going. Yet God says, "Trust my name, lean on me, rely on me." Friend, faith shines brightest, not when the path is clear, but when the way is dark and you cling to God as your only light. And if you've ever walked through pain, through loss, sickness, betrayal, or disappointment, then you know this truth. When everything else is stripped away, God's presence is enough. The psalmist wrote in Psalm 46, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth be removed, though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea." Can you imagine that picture? Mountains sliding into the ocean, the ground beneath your feet collapsing, chaos everywhere. And yet, in the middle of that chaos, the psalmist says, "God is our refuge." That means when everything else shakes, he does not. When the world collapses, his throne remains unshaken. When storms roar, his presence becomes our anchor. So what does that mean for you today? It means your suffering is not wasted. Your tears are not wasted. Your pain is not wasted. God is using it to make you stronger, deeper, purer, and more unshakable in your trust in him. So let me encourage you. Don't quit in the fire. Don't give up in the furnace. Don't throw away your faith when the heat rises, because that very fire is what's shaping you into someone who cannot be broken. Remember, endurance is not glamorous. It doesn't always get applause, but endurance leads to glory. Paul tells us in Romans 5 that suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope does not disappoint. So I close with this. If you are walking through a furnace today, hold on. Don't see it as punishment. See it as preparation. Don't see it as destruction. See it as transformation. Because one day, the same trials that brought you tears will be the very testimony that brings you triumph. And when Yeshua, the Messiah, is revealed, the faith you held on to will bring praise, glory, and honor. So keep the faith. Endure the fire. Trust the process. Because the God who is with you in the furnace is the same God who will bring you out refined, stronger, and shining with His glory.